You guys are right from the Seattle Seahawks, and you are watching NorbCam.
What's going on, everybody? This is NorbCam coming at you with this breaking news. Not really shocking news, but still breaking nonetheless because it is significant in terms of the Broncos, the Seahawks, and Russell Wilson. Yes, Russell Wilson was officially cut by the Denver Broncos today, released as the start of the new league year begins. And what does this mean for Russ? What does this mean for the Broncos? And how did this all happen? How did it get to this point? I'm going to look back at the trade, what happened over the last 2 years, and at the end, I'm actually going to watch a video about Russell Wilson going to the Broncos, which I never had the guts to watch because it was so painful at the time, and I'm actually going to watch it and react to it on this channel, on this video with you guys at the end. So appreciate you guys coming on board. If you wouldn't mind, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and also follow me here on YouTube, as well as Instagram, TikTok, X, and on Facebook. All right, let's get into it. Russell Wilson released by the Denver Broncos. Not really much of a shock in the sense that we kind of saw this coming late last season when he got benched and the Broncos tried to talk to Russell Wilson about negotiating his injury guarantee, which pretty much made it to where if Russ were to be injured going into the new league year, that would guarantee him another about $40 million into the next season. And obviously when he wasn't willing to do that and they benched Russell, it was pretty clear the writing on the wall was that the Broncos and Sean Payton were not planning to have Russ in the future. So it wasn't really a surprise when they finally released him. But there was a video that came out of Russ in an interview. It was on a podcast with a former Seahawk, I forgot his name, he's a receiver. And he talked about how he still wanted to be a Bronco. He still wanted to win championships 2 out of the next 5 years. And I remember watching that going, what? What world are you living in, Russ? This ain't going to happen unless you were willing to like massively change your contract, which he clearly wasn't going to do. But, you know, he had his house on the market already. And Brandon Marshall, who was one who had the, thank you also, Sam Dog, for reminding me. Brandon Marshall asked him even about, isn't your house for sale? And he said it's not officially on the market. That's because he was technically having private viewers, potential buyers coming in, so they weren't officially listing it on the market. Anyway, it's all just kind of double speak and all that stuff. But, it was pretty clear that the writing was well on the wall way back at the end of the season. Became even more clear when he started, the word got out that he was going to try to sell his house. And then here we are. He's now officially no longer with the Broncos. So what does that mean? I'm getting that in a second. But I did want to shout out to everybody who's in the chat. A lot of you guys chiming in here. I want to recognize you guys. First, down at the bottom of the screen, as I always like to do, I've got my supportive members of the NorbFam from the MVPs and All Pros and NorbFam starters down there on the list. So appreciate you guys for supporting my channel. At least the only way I can shout you guys out. MVP Lori Cross, been there for a long time, support me. So appreciate you guys on the NorbFam. And for everybody who's on the chat, continue to send your comments in. Super chat is always highly recommended. I'll definitely read your chat online. But Trevor Larsen is here. Says, safe we won the trade. Michigan Kraken. Thanks for all your draft picks, Broncos. We're going to get into that. Sam Dog, the infamous 253. We own Denver. That trade, biggest L we've handed Denver since their biggest L since we handed Denver their loss in Super Bowl 48. So true. Aiden, you guys won the trade. Joe S.A., let's ride. Chandler, we won the trade. We should bring him back on a cheap deal and draft a QB. Man, that has come up a lot. Would we open to bringing back Russell Wilson, since now he's technically he's got more money than he can do with, but he's got no team to play for right now. So interesting deal. Brando, do we laugh or we feel bad? I kind of feel bad, but I sort of say that with a smile on my face, since I was very upset when this all went down. Nick H., if you ever need a laugh in life, just think of Russ and the Broncos. Let's see. Daniel Barry's in here. Nick H., I don't feel bad, he says. He got everything he deserved. ACA, where are we here? Where should Russ go? Can't believe the Broncos cut him. Yeah, like I said, if you've been following what's been happening there, the path was slowly deteriorating to a point where you're going, man, this is not going to work out. And it just comes down to Broncos going, you know what? We've put all this money on you, but we just don't believe in you, so we are moving on. That's a big, whopping amount to go from, and I'm going to break that down right now. So in that trade, let's go back to the trade itself. When it happened, this was the deal right here. The Broncos got Russell, and he also got a 4th-round pick. I don't even know who this guy is. The Seahawks in return got Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, Charles Cross via 1st-round pick, Boye Mafe via 2nd-round pick, Tyreek Smith via 5th-round pick, Devin Witherspoon via the 2023 pick, and Derek Hall via the number 37 pick in 2023. Needless to say, we certainly got away with highway robbery when it comes to that trade. I mean, just look at that. Look at these guys. Yeah, Cross, Mafe, Witherspoon, Hall, Fant, Locke, maybe Smith, not so much of a huge name in the contributors, but everybody else had a huge part to do with the Seahawks and their playoff run in 2022, and then are part of the nucleus of the team moving forward here in 2023. But I remember going back to 2022 when this all went down, and remembering I didn't want to believe it when there was rumors that the trade was going to happen. And I remember it was right around this time too, right around the Combine, and Russ was asked, and Pete Carroll was asked, and Schneider was asked, is Russell Wilson going to be traded? And everybody was lying through their teeth. No, we will not be trading the quarterback. Russ saying, oh no, I want to win more Super Bowls. I want to win them here, blah, 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 blah. And quickly you realize, first of all, never ask questions you really want the truth from, especially at this time of the year, when it's right before free agency, during the Combine, right after the Super Bowl's over. Don't bother even asking any coaching staff, manager, owner. Don't even bother asking them any personnel questions, because they were going to tell you anything but the truth. Okay, that's just the reality, because they've got to keep their cards close to the vest. They don't want any other team to know what your plans are. So when you ask John Schneider, is Geno Smith your quarterback? Is Drew Lock, are they going to be part of the future? He's not going to say for sure, because he might have plans to do something in the draft. Let's say he secretly wants to get Michael Penix, right? He's not going to tell anybody that. He's going to say, no, Geno's not it, because we're going to draft Michael Penix. That's our plan. Well, then everybody knows what your plan is, so now they can kind of work around you to try to make sure you don't get that guy, or that you going to have to give up a lot to get him. So, of course, they're going to make it sound like, yeah, we're all good. Geno Smith, he's our guy, until he's not. And so I just think it's funny that the questions keep getting asked. We read the answers. It just doesn't mean anything. Just don't believe anything you hear right now. Okay? Because it is their job to be secretive and deceptive, because if they didn't, they would be doing a horrible job. I mean, look at this whole thing. Look at all the coaching moves that John Schneider pulled off he waited. All these coaches were moving around, and who's Seattle going to get? They're not getting anybody. Oh my gosh, everyone's going over here, going over there. Gosh, Harbaugh went over here. And, everybody was kind of freaking out. Like, wow, Seattle that's almost the Super Bowl, and we still don't have a coach. And then middle of the, leading up to the Super Bowl, right before the Super Bowl, they pull that big, they pull the big shocker of the Michael McDonald, and then the OC coming in when it looked like he wasn't going to be here. Again, more deception. The offensive coordinator is literally in Alabama addressing, I don't know who they are, boosters or whoever they are, saying, "Oh, hello everybody. My name is Ryan Grubb. I am your offensive coordinator. Roll Tide." I mean, all that, everything, all the whole pomp and circumstance took place. And what happens like 3 days later? He's secretly having meetings with the Coach McDonald and John Schneider, Dinos across from the headquarters, working out a deal to come back to Seattle and be the offensive coordinator for the Seahawks. So what's going to happen? Oh, I should say, so this is what Denver had to say goodbye to by releasing Russell Wilson. So in 2024, so this year, they were already on the hook to pay $39 million to Russell Wilson. That was going to happen no matter what. $35.4 million cap hit. What they got out of by releasing him now is they avoided having to pay him another close to $40 million in 2025. So in 2025, they pay him zero cash, but they take a $49.6 million cap hit in 2025. Ouch. Do you see how much that is? $35.4 million plus $49.6. That is basically almost $85 million in a guy who's not even going to be on the team. That is brutal from a salary standpoint, but you got to do what you got to do. It gives you the chance to finally, start fresh, find the quarterback of your future. At least that's what they're going to have to do. But it just goes to show how badly they screwed this up. The Broncos really screwed themselves by making this, not really the trade. The trade was a lot to give up, but where they really screwed up is before Russ even played a snap, they already extended him, gave him this $254 million contract before he'd even played a snap for the team. And I'm sure if they they could have waited a year before they extended him and seen that, oh my goodness, that kind of sucked. Maybe we should rethink this contract. But they didn't. They just gave him the whole keys to the castle. All that went down. And, well, the result was in 2022, they went 5-12. Nathaniel Hackett, the head coach at the time, got fired. Then in 2023, Sean Payton took over Hackett's job. They were better, but not good enough. They finished 8-9 and missed the playoffs for second year in a row. And clearly by that point, again, the writing was already on the wall. But, man, you look at the draft picks given up, the money guaranteed. I mean, this is going to hurt them for a couple of years. But you know what? No, the Broncos have nobody to blame but themselves, especially with that deal. They made that deal when they didn't have to. That's kind of like Seattle. Kind of like Seattle with Jamal Adams, right? We're kind of in the same boat right now. Maybe not as big of a boat, but still a boat where we had hoped this would work out. And for whatever reason, it didn't. And now here we are with potentially facing, not anywhere as big as this, but still facing do we try to make it work or do we just let him go, call it a loss, take the cap hit, and move on? We'll find out. We'll find out how Coach McDonald looks at this whole situation. That'd be my biggest comparison to what is going on in Denver, is sort of like what's happening in Seattle on a much smaller scale, nonetheless. Keep your guys' comments coming. I won't be able to read all of them. Brandon Larsen, though, one of the all-pro members of the NorbFam, says, let's fracking go. 9 months. Congratulations, Brandon. Thank you for your 9-month support of my channel, man. Appreciate it. But yeah, keep your comments going through. You guys can read through them and go through your own reactions. My own reactions, again, coming from the time when I first heard it, I was devastated. I'll be totally honest. If you look back at my reaction videos to the time Russell was traded, I was angry. I felt betrayed. I didn't want to believe it. I was one of those guys who thought Russell Wilson would be here forever and retire a Seattle Seahawk. And I thought all the words I was hearing were just rumors. But then as time went by and I started reading more and more stories and hearing more and more from players talking about the Russell Wilson time in Seattle, there was a lot of stuff that I discovered it wasn't quite as rosy a picture as I thought it had been. I think when you just are so much wanting it to be good, you kind of convince yourself that, that story, that can't be true. They're just trying to get attention. They're just writing that story to get clickbait. When you hear about the stories of Russell Wilson being, kind of a diva, not communicating with his teammates, given special treatment, it kind of turns out that, and him wanting, not only threatening to be out of Seattle, but actually wanting Pete Carroll fired, kind of turns out that all that stuff was true. And he wanted Sean Payton. He wanted Sean Payton to take over Pete Carroll's position at the Seahawks, and all that stuff never happened, obviously. And it was Russell who ended up leaving for greener pastures, or more orange pastures, as it were. And just goes to show, sometimes the grass is not greener on the other side. But, even on Twitter today, it kind of got my blood boiling. As much as I'm not really emotionally invested anymore, I kind of got over this last year. I got over the pain of it and the kind of the visceral anger and wanting Wilson to fail. I went through all that last year, and I felt like after the season was over and our draft picks came to fruition, I was like, okay, well, we're really not tied anymore to what happens to Russ. I can let that go. Whatever happens now, if he does well in 2023, well, good for him. But I was kind of done being angry at the situation and him and wanting him to fail. But then reading after the announcement was made that he got cut today, it reopened some feelings, because I went to Twitter and I saw the announcement. I was like, oh, well, there it is. There's the announcement. Here it came. But the part that bugged me was that on Twitter, and pull it up right here, but you guys can look it up, Russell Wilson actually tweeted out a big thank you to the Broncos and the staff and to the fans. And I've retweeted, I tweeted that out, and I put a note. I said, I don't remember getting a love letter like this from Russell Wilson. Because he didn't. He basically wrote something like, Seattle, I'll love you always, or something like that. It was like 6 words, a 6-word tweet. That's all he had for being with Seattle for 10 years. That was all we got. That was all of the thank you, even though I probably would have read it and gone, it's just Russ, writing a PR type of statement anyway. But the fact that he wrote this after 2 years in Denver, where it really didn't go that great, he writes this long thank you to everybody, even shouting out the people who made the food and everything. He didn't mention any of that when he left Seattle. I was like, it just kind of, it bugged me again, which, again, even with the thought of, should Russell Wilson, would we come back here on a really cheap veteran salary? And I'm kind of done with Russ. I think football's kind of done with him. I will be interesting. He's got some potential landing places. But, is Seattle one of them? I don't think so. I would, again, what I'm hoping at quarterback, my hope is that Geno rolls for one more year. They draft his replacement, and this becomes the year of the tutelage and gets the young guy up to speed, gives him a year, maybe 2. And then hopefully by the time we transition, then it's a nice, we switch over and move on. But I'm kind of done with the whole Russ in Seattle. That's just, it's like when you get broken up with, you kind of go through the pain, the denial, the anger, the hurt, and then the bitterness and resentment, and then you want all these bad things and think evil thoughts to happen to the person who hurt your feelings. And then when you're done, you're kind of like, okay, well, I'm done with that. I'm moving on. And that's where we are at now. So why would I take it back? Especially if I don't feel like his best years is really behind him. I mean, I think if there was a year that he was going to have to make it happen, like this was the perfect year that everything he wanted, he got. He got the red carpet already, the orange carpet. He got Sean Payton, the guy he wanted to coach here in Seattle. And that was 2023. He got everything he wanted in 2023. And while he played better, it still wasn't good enough. He got on a hot streak at a point where it's like, oh, he might actually take him from starting like complete garbage to going on this hot streak to where it's like he might make the playoffs. And then they kind of faltered again, and then he got benched, and then that was kind of that. But that was kind of it. I mean, that was kind of like the year to kind of say to everybody in the world, I'm Russell Wilson and I can still play. You know, in a perfect scenario. I've got everything I need, the coach I want. There's no excuse not to succeed here. And it just didn't work out. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes. We'll kind of explore some of the potential landing spots that he could possibly go to. That'll be interesting to see. This will be his third team now in 3 years, which is wild. But again, who would have saw this coming, man? It's crazy. Well, a lot of people in the chat going off of here. It looks like some stuff is heated here between Sam Dog and Osmoisis or something. It sounds like there's some good back and forth chatter. But just keep it cool. Don't be mean to each other, right? Can't we all just get along? So, like I said, I want to watch this video, and I might get copyright noticed on this one. So, but I'll play it live, and if I do, I don't know. I might have to edit it out later. But I want to watch this video. This is the video that the Broncos put together. It was Russ and Sierra's arrival at Denver for the first time, where they sort of rolled out the red carpet and did the whole press conference thing. I never got to allow myself to watch this video because it was too soon. It was too painful to watch this video about his exciting arrival to the new team. I just couldn't do it. And now that this is all happening, now that he's leaving the Broncos, here we go. We are going to watch this video right here. All right. It is the inside look at Russell Wilson's first week in Denver. Here we go. It's about 13 minutes.
We got good news for you guys. Really exciting news.
You guys ready?
So Daddy is now...
Dad's going to play for a new team.
Yep.
Can you guys hear us? He's going to play for the Denver Broncos future.
For the Denver Broncos future? Yeah.
It's like, what the F, Dad? You're going to play for the Broncos? Are you guys whose butts you kicked like a few years ago?
Its name is Thunder. It's a big white horse.
Did they name their dog Bronco or something?
Yeah. You see it?
Yeah,
we're going to get your Broncos
We're going to get you guys a Broncos jersey. It's going to be blue and orange, number 3. Now, I'm excited to be a Denver Bronco. What it means to me, it's about championships. It's about winning culture. It's about tradition. It's about making sure that we're doing it at the highest level possible. And I'll do whatever it takes to win.
That's vintage
It's also
Russ.
about the community too. So I'm grateful to be here. I know that the Colorado Rockies drafted me here a long time ago, so I feel like I've been here before, and I can't wait. Go Broncos.
That's the PR Russ right there. Oh, Hackett, if you only knew what was coming, bro. I mean, they gave him everything. Private office on a different floor.
There'll be a lot of winning in here, a lot of hard work, It all starts here. It all starts in the meeting room. With
a lot of winning.
Engaged,
Yeah, 5.
Being ready to win,
5 in that year.
Focus level's got to be all-time high. You got to be excited.
So cool.
They got to live in that cool Denver castle for 2 years.
That's where we're at. That's where all the magic. It's just the winning culture. It's, to be here, to be with Coach Hack, and to be with the rest of the coaches as well. It's been pretty amazing. There's been a lot of greats play here, and to be here is a blessing. Every day you get to play in the National Football League, it's always a blessing. And to play with this organization is going to be exciting. And hope we get to win a lot of championships.
Nope.
That's the mission, that's the goal, that's the vision, and it's also to impact the community. Impact all the Broncos country fans, and just do it all over the world. So it starts with winning, though. It starts with the process, every day. This is day one. Let's go.
I don't think he'd come up with the "Let's Ride" slogan quite yet. He wasn't saying it yet.
Oh yeah.
Yes, huh?
We gotta know all the players.
I think it's always weird anytime
Okay, we
a
love
player
you
has
guys.
to make a press conference about being at a new team, because they always have to sound like it's the greatest new chapter, and how do you say that without crapping on your old team, right? Oh, this got great coaches here.
Who is
I love
Russell
to-
Wilson? Quarterback of the Denver Broncos. I'm looking forward to being your quarterback. I'm proud to be a Denver Bronco. This organization is truly first class, and I'm really excited about the journey of it all. And we're going to do everything we can to win at the highest level and win often, and just spend time with the kids in the community, and to be able to connect. You know, that's my mission, that's my goal, that's why I'm coming here. And but more importantly, I'm obsessed with the process. And the only way to win often, the only way to be great, is to be obsessed with the process.
Brian, I love the level of pettiness.
What's up,
there.
Bob?
Let's go, Hawks. Let's
How you
ride.
doing, man? What's going on? You guys.
Well, I remember he in an interview said he wanted to go to a city that wants to win,
Yes, sir. Everything going good?
team that knows how to win. I mean, that pissed me off. It's like, wait, what? What do you think you were doing here all these years?
What's up, my guy? What's up, Pete? How you doing, man? Good. How you doing, Steve, man? You got a good corner view here. Yeah, you like it? I got a mountain zone view.
Oh, it's the Rockies jersey. You guys are pulling this out. Come on, dude. Colorado Rockies jersey. This is too dope. This reminds me when I first got drafted in baseball. I got drafted June 8th, 2010. The next day, my dad passed away. So it's the highest of the high, the lowest of the low. But, man, this is cool. Appreciate you guys.
Hey, there you go. What's up, man? How you feeling, McDonald? Feeling good, man. Feeling good. Feeling better now, man.
Tim Patrick, Broncos wide receiver.
Happy as hell.
I know your boy ready.
I'm ready too, man. It's been a minute, man. Damn. What's up, man? This is crazy, bro. You've been one of
This
my
is that time of the year, kind of like where we are with Coach McDonald and all these new
Most important
staff.
quality
Like,
the team must have
you can't go wrong,
to be
right? Everything's the
successful.
greatest right
Number
now
one,
because you haven't
you
played
gotta have
yet.
great players.
You're
You know, I think
undefeated,
that's a
and you
key
have
part
Super
to
Bowl
it. We also
potential,
have
and
a
that's
great
how it
coach.
was then too.
I know we have those two.
It was about
things.
2 years ago
I think
to
you
the
gotta have
day.
a great fan base. You definitely have that. And I think the last part of it is you got to have great vision and great execution. Those two things together.
Did you just say something with a fan
so we're
base?
excited about the journey. We want to have the loudest stadium in football. We want to have the most energy as possible. We want to be able to travel and win all those games too as well. And we're really looking forward to the opportunity. And I'm looking forward to being your quarterback. I'm proud to be a Denver Bronco. In Broncos country, let's ride.
Oh, there it is. I think that's the first time you said
to be
it.
here and to know that
Broncos country.
this is really
That's right.
the day that everything happens, you know, in the sense of the trade and everything else.
Yes, as a
I
Broncos
was
fan,
thinking
this
I'm
is
ecstatic,
laughable.
You know, for
Who would have known, right?
For another opportunity of just to do what I love, you know, and just I think that's humbling.
Bobo
every
said
day,
Russell Wilson's
you know, that
upgrade over Geno Smith, though,
Every
right?
day I wake up, I get to do what I love to do.
I don't know, man.
You can't take those
That's
moments for
debatable. I
granted.
would
think
not have said
sometimes
that
in life,
3 years ago.
we take moments for granted, you know, and what I've learned along the journey, along the way, playing sports, but also just through the things that you go through in life, is that every day, if you wake up with enthusiasm, every day you wake up with just an understanding that today we're going to make it a great day. That's what I look forward
I used
to.
to
And
idolize
so
this guy, man.
What I'm excited about is obviously playing
Hang on
here in
every
Denver,
word, every ism, Russism that
playing
he
in the
had.
Power
All his
Field, Mile
corniness.
High. You know, it's exciting. You know, there's been obviously some of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in Elway and Manning. To be able to, you know, to be here and follow a little bit of their footsteps, it's going to be exciting.
Children's Hospital thing. I can't knock him for this. I mean, that was something he did. He did well and did from the beginning here in Seattle. And continued it.
What's up, everybody?
I'm not going to knock him for that.
How are you?
Great. What's up, guys?
We're
Hi.
so excited to have you. Welcome.
What's up?
Ryan Roberts, where's he going? We don't know.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Don't know yet.
We're super excited to be here. You know, I think that we've had some amazing experiences along the way. And I think the amazing part of it is it's about the families, it's about the loved ones, it's about the people that surround them and the belief that there are better days. It's about the nurses and the doctors that spend so much time investing into making sure that they find the best research and do the best things that they can do to help. And it's a team effort. It's a beautiful team effort. How you doing? Is that a Wisconsin Badger shirt?
Ooh, you know I went there, right?
What's up?
How you doing, man? You taller than me.
This is awesome, but you are awesome.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Right?
I use your song at dance almost every week.
Ooh, that's awesome. I got new music coming for you, so I'm gonna make sure you keep dancing, okay?
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you. Hey, can you say let's ride?
Let's ride.
Yeah, let's ride.
Let's ride. I think that slogan is going
fortunate to be able to
go
continue
away
in Seattle
if it
and go to
hasn't already
Children's and then
permanently gone away.
To be able to come here and just impact, and it's been a blessing. There's so many amazing kids here. It's an amazing hospital here, you know, Children's Hospital, Colorado. So, you know, it just means a lot to me and Sierra. You know, this is what it's really about. You know, all the wins and winning championships, and that's important. But, you know, and to be able to impact lives and hopefully to be able to help save lives with these amazing doctors and nurses and staff members, to bring resources and help with our foundation, the Why Not You Foundation, to be able to read the book to the kids. Our Why Not You book is really cool too, you know, the children's book. So this is what life's about. This is what life's about.
So here's the possible teams. Atlanta Falcons, Chicago Bears, depending on what they do with Justin Fields. Las Vegas Raiders, as
Now,
James Watson just said.
Yeah.
That's so, to be able to do that, to do it with so much love and joy and passion, to be able to do it with you,
Yay.
you know, it's cool. And we always say, why not you?
Why
you know,
not
that's our
you?
foundation name, so why not you?
Yeah.
As I like to say, for the Broncos country, let's ride.
Let's ride.
Oh, who knew how that slogan was gonna just blow up in the wrong way? Vikings, if Cousins doesn't return, potentially the Vikings, the Patriots, depending what they do with Mac Jones. Pittsburgh Steelers, been talked about as a possible place. Tampa Bay, although Baker Mayfield did pretty good, but we'll see what happens there. So those are a few of the teams that are possible landing spots. Seahawks not mentioned on this.
Sharp. How are you? Okay.
This is the press conference day, I think.
Nice orange ties, man. No way.
That's yeah.
So much easier watching this now. There we go. Crazy. Man, so many things, but wow. It's weird looking back at that, isn't it? And I parallel that to this season for the Seahawks because we have the same level of hype, the same level of expectation. Maybe not. That was pretty up there. I mean, Nathaniel Hackett like drooling at the, oh my God, Russell Wilson. But getting this new regime in the Seahawks, it's kind of the same kind of feeling right now, right? You know, we had the press conference, the welcome, we're going to come in, we're going to do everything it takes. You know, I mean, you can regurgitate all these statements that everybody says, and it kind of all just runs together. That's why these press conferences, and like I said earlier, sometimes it feels kind of almost pointless to ask these questions in depth because you're going to hear the same things, just basically what they want you to hear. But they're never going to really tell you any great detail about what they have planned because there's too much they still got to figure out. But a year from now, we're going to be looking back at the Seahawks season, and we're going to be going, so when we look back at 2024 under Coach McDonald's first year and OC Ryan Grubb and whoever we end up bringing to the team in free agency starting next week, and then in the draft in a couple months, it's like we're going to look back and we're going to judge it as it was a big success or it was a big failure or it was like, it was okay, growing pains, but we'll be better next year. It's going to be one of those three things. And the Broncos and Russell Wilson and their fans got the worst. They got the worst of the last 2 years, especially when you follow up that intro, that lead in, that much hype. I mean, Russell Wilson was coming in to be the savior for the Broncos. He was going to be the guy to change everything and to bring them to multiple Super Bowls and this and that. And it's just crazy how far that has fallen. And it left the Broncos in a rough situation financially, where they're going to be hamstrung for a couple of years because they got so much money tied into Russ. It's going to limit their ability to what they can do with free agency. They're going to have to draft really well in order to bounce back quick. So they're going to have to hit a home run. They're going to have to find their quarterback quick and hope they get some luck in there too. So. And as far as Russell Wilson, where he ends up to will be interesting. It's possibly he could not end up anywhere. There's no guarantee that he's going to be playing for somebody, but it does sound like one of these few teams here who are desperately in a quarterback, situation with no immediate solution at hand. Falcons, Bears, Raiders. This list says Miami Dolphins, but I don't see that happening. Vikings, Patriots, Steelers, Buccaneers, potential landing spots for Russell Wilson. We'll see what happens here, but man, just crazy. But it felt good to kind of watch that along with you guys to kind of just get purge some of those emotions that I kind of held back from the beginning of not wanting to fully accept when he got traded to the Broncos, and that was kind of not so bad to finally watch that and see how that all played out. And it's kind of weird to look back now and how it was so different 2 years ago and the expectations versus the reality of what it would become. It's just nuts. But anyway, we got so much happening up here. Free agency. A lot of moves to be had in the draft, end of April. And then it goes quiet. And then we just kind of wait. Training camp starts to happen. And then next you know, it's preseason football. It goes quick. But it's going to be fun to watch what the Seahawks do in the next few months here, build this team up. And like I said before, this is probably the most excited I've been for the arrival of a new head coach since Mike Holmgren. The anticipation, we're talking almost 30 years ago. And it's hard not to get overhyped, to feel like, we're going to just hit a next level. Like we've been stuck at this point in the last couple of years. It's just like, can't beat the Niners and struggling here in the division. But this could be an epic turning point. Just got to keep my emotions in check because it's hard not to get super excited about what might be coming this coming year. So there we go. I'm excitedly going to look back and read your comments and your chats. I'd like to see what you guys think. Would you entertain a Russell Wilson return to Seattle? Like I said, for the record, I said I'm kind of done with the Russell Wilson chapter. It's been the last 2 years purging it, except for the day he comes back to sign his, when he retires to sign as a, one day to retire as a Seahawk. I want that day to happen. I do want that. Sam Duck, what if Russell goes to the Giants because Daniel Jones is garbage? That's true. It wasn't on this particular list I was just looking at, but I guess theoretically. But don't they got this money wrapped up in Daniel Jones too? So they're kind of stuck with him on a quarterback contract? I don't know. We'll see what they decide to do in this year. What was I going to say? Oh, and you guys probably already heard the news. It's been all over the place, but KJ Wright, good luck to him, man. KJ getting the job with the 49ers. That's something that pains me on that part. 49ers linebackers assistant coach. So congratulations to KJ on his new venture. I loved watching him on the KJ All Day show. I assume he won't have time to do that now when he's going to be with the 49ers coaching. But that was a great show. And I've had a chance to interact with KJ this past season, and I'll miss him being around, but it'll be fun to see how he does. And hopefully, again, this could be a turning point year for the Seahawks to finally start to get back against the 49ers and start inching our way towards winning a division. And it's going to have to be under KJ's watch as linebacker assistant coach. So, but good luck to him. I'm happy for him. I'm glad he got the gigs. I know it's something he's wanted since he retired. Coaching was always in the cards for him. So, he'll be great at it, I'm sure. Just don't be so good that he's going to continue to beat us, because that'll be tough to watch. Let's see what else. I guess that's it for now. More videos to come. Oh. I am working on a documentary of my trip down to the Super Bowl as the Seahawks Fan of the Year. I've been wanting to kind of put together a whole kind of video that just encompasses this whole thing I've gone through from the start of it to where things are, culminating in the trip to the Super Bowl. And I've shared a lot of the videos along the way, but kind of just the entire thing. I was shooting a ton on my camcorder that I brought with me, and I've been wanting to put together a video that just sort of really tells the story of what it was like going on through this whole journey, and to share that with you. So I'm working on it. It's taking more time to get done, but I want to do it right. So looking forward to sharing that with you guys very soon. But otherwise, looking forward to seeing how free agency goes next week and talking about the moves we make. But for now, that's it. We'll talk to y'all later. Go Hawks.